All right, guys, so for today's practice, we are going to learn how to graph linear equations and look over all the key features of a linear function, right? So the first equation, you guys may have learned this in middle school, the one that we're starting with today, the first linear equation that we deal with is this equation called slope-intercept form. You may already know it. It's the equation that goes y equals, it's not letting me write what's going on over here. Let me erase this. Alright, already failing. Alright, it's the equation that goes y equals mx plus b. So a lot of you are probably like, oh yeah. Okay, so why is it called the slope-intercept form? That's because the m in the equation is the one that tells us, remember what does m stand for? M is our slope, right? What is our slope? Anyone remember? Our rise over our run, right? Okay, so that's our m, right? That's what the m tells us. I don't know if anyone remembers what the b is, but the b is our y-intercept. Okay, so we're going to play around with graphing these equations, the ones that are in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. We're going to go on ahead and identify the table with that equation. We'll graph it, and then we'll look at some of the features. Okay, so the first one I'm going to do is, I'm going to do it two ways. The first way I'm going to do it is I'm actually going to do it based off the equation. So I know my equation is y equals mx plus b. And here, I'm looking at y equals 2x minus 4. Okay? So again, if I know that the m is my slope and the b is my y-intercept, how about from telling from the equation, can we find what the m is, right? The m is attached to the x. My slope here, the m is equal to 2. The b, my y-intercept here, is this minus 4. That means my y-intercept is at negative 4. So the first way I'm going to graph it is I'm not going to use a calculator because not everybody needs a calculator. Okay, I'm going to use this information and I'm going to go ahead and plot the points, right? So if I know my y-intercept's at negative 4, I can go down here, boom, find my y-intercept at negative 4. Remember, what is slope, right? I have a positive 2. This is my rise over my run, right? So, of course, this is not a fraction, so a lot of you are like, oh, hello, that's not a fraction, what do I do? So we make it into a fraction. By how do we make it into a fraction? Putting it over the invisible 1. All right, I had a little interruption there. Okay, so I put it over the invisible 1. Now it's in a fraction, so now I can tell how much I am rising and how much I am running, right? So, remember, my rise and run from this point to another point. So I'm going to rise up 2, 1, 2, and run across 1. Boom. That's a point. Let's do another one. 1, 2, over 1. Boom. That's a point. Again, 1, 2, rose up 2, rise over 1. Boom. That's a point. Let's go again. 1, 2, over 1. Boom. That's another point. Let's connect all my points. You just graphed this equation, y equals 2x minus 4, the same way that the calculator would have given it to you, right? So if you don't believe me, let's pull up the calculator. In your Desmos, you pull up, you type in the equation, y equals 2x minus 4. All right, my settings are not here. Let's reset them. All right, so now my now my graph looks like yours, right? So these 2 points that it gave me, you can double check. If I go here, this graph goes up 1, 2, boom, went over 1, 1, 2, boom, went over 1. You see we did the same graph, okay? However, now we need to fill in the table, all right? So how do you find the table on Desmos? Once you're here, once you type in your equation, there's this little settings wheel, right? Click on it. It's going to pull up these 2 options. Right here it says convert to table. Right? It even looks like a table. Let's click on it. Out comes your table. Okay, what are the points that we need? Right now we need when my x is 0, what's my y? When my x is 1, 2, 3. Let's find out. When my x is 0, my y is negative 4. When my x is 1, my y is negative 2. When my y, x is 2, my y is 0. So I got negative 2, 0. I'm just going to fill in the table. Negative 2, 0. Now I got to figure out what 3 is. So Desmos kind of stopped us, but it's okay. We can go on ahead and type. So I want to know when my x is 3. So let's ask it. When my x is 3, my y is a 2. Okay, so we just filled out the table. Now we need to identify. Again, we said that the slope, right, the m, we said it was a positive 2. We identified from the equation also that my b, my y-intercept was at negative 4. And then if you guys can find your x-intercept, right, your x-intercept right here on the graph is at, let's see, here's my x-axis, it crosses right here. And that point is at, what's the point? It's at 0, comma, 2. I'm sorry, 2, comma, 0. My bad, I said it backwards. Okay, so that is our x-intercept. Another couple, there's several other vocabulary words that also means x-intercept, so I'm just going to throw them out there. So if you ever see 0, alright, if they're asking for zeros, alright, that is also your x-intercept. That's all it means, okay? So I wanted to throw that out there. It's just vocabulary. It all means the same thing, alright? I'll go ahead and do one more on another video. For those of you who don't need it, you don't need to watch another one, okay? So I know I did this one by hand. I'll go on ahead and do another one by calculator. Just going ahead and finish up the worksheet. So I'll continue. I'll do one other problem and we'll do it by calculator. So if you need it, go on ahead and watch it. If not, you can continue on your own and refer back when you need it.